Hello. Hi there. Welcome to the channel. This is Rachel Richardson. I am here this morning with a guided meditation for creative renewal. So it's day 2 of my daughter having gone back to school after many snow days, and yesterday I took the day to get the house in order, and now today is calling for me to go out and be in the world. I'm having lunch with my best friend, which I'm really looking forward to, and I think I'm going to be announcing the channel today, so I feel like today's a good day for a meditation that just kind of clears out the creative energy in sort of an imaginative way. So I learned about this technique from another YouTube channel. The woman's name is Daniela, and I don't know the name of her channel, but she just briefly mentioned this technique once. She didn't take us through it. She doesn't do meditation. She does readings. So she mentions this technique, and I was like, oh, that sounds awesome. I'm going to try it for myself, which I have done several times. And I've done it in group situations. It went okay, but I think that this might be the venue for it. So what we're going to do, and today we're in my kitchen, so it's fitting that we are going to clean out the fridge, which you'll understand what I mean when we get there. So let's just do it. Let's just get in there. This meditation requires only a working knowledge of fruits and vegetables. So we'll start as we usually do, sitting comfortably, or if you're on the move, that's okay. This is something that you can do really any way that you want. But if you are sitting still, make sure that your feet are planted on the ground. If you are able to slip off your shoes, I always like to do that for myself, just to have there be less stuff between my feet and the earth. Of course, there's a basement right now between my feet and the earth, but just whatever I can do to ground intentionally. So, feet flat on the ground. Check your posture if you want to. I like to sit up straight. Some people like to sink into the chair. Whatever your body's asking for right now is fine. If you are sitting straight up, check your posture. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel your seat on your seat. Just take a couple seconds. And now what we're going to do is find the place in your body, basically where your seat meets the seat that you're sitting in. Or picture the base of your spine. And picture there a red fruit. And for those of you who are familiar with the chakra system, this is definitely a chakra clearing exercise. We'll be using the colors of the rainbow that are associated with each of our sort of energy centers. So start at the base of your spine and think of a red fruit. I had some delicious strawberries this morning, so I'm thinking of a big plump strawberry, perfectly red. Well, actually, no. What I'm thinking of is a moldy strawberry. I got ahead of myself. So picture this fruit, this red fruit or vegetable. It matters not. But think of it as if it's old and it's got bruises and spots and it's moldy and it's starting to smell bad. And just sort of take a minute with it, look at it. You can even be disgusted by it if you want. And then remove it. Remove it from that space in your body. Remove it from the base of your spine. And throw it in the compost pile behind your house. And then now find that beautiful big plump red strawberry or whatever fruit it is that you are associating with the color red. And it's a very healthy, ripe, fresh, in season fruit, red fruit. Now put that in the refrigerator at the base of your spine. In fact, think about your whole sort of upper half from that spot as just like a big refrigerator. Think about the shelves of a refrigerator. And find where at the root, at the bottom of the refrigerator, where that red strawberry goes. And just sort of marvel at it for a second, like, damn, that's a beautiful strawberry. Now, move up to the area where your lower belly, if you're a woman, your womb, and think about what orange fruit or vegetable you might have there. But it's also rotten and not appetizing to look at. And it's just been there for too long. So take that out and throw it in the compost pile behind your house. And now, see if you can imagine the most scrumptious looking orange vegetable or fruit. It's juicy, it's healthy, it's sweet if it's supposed to be sweet, it's crunchy if it's supposed to be crunchy. It's the perfect texture, the perfect flavor, and it goes now to be placed at the sacral chakra. We were in the root chakra before. I don't know if I said that. Red for root, orange for sacral. And then just sort of sit there for a second with that new, renewed, healthy energy at the very base of our creative center. Our stability, our creativity. And now move up to your your solar plexus, which is associated with the color yellow, and it's just above your belly button. And picture a yellow fruit or vegetable that has gone bad and needs to be taken out of the refrigerator. Whatever that might be. For me, it's a lemon, and it gets that like green moldy stuff on it on the outside of the skin, and then it gets like a soft, very soft dent that you might accidentally stick your thumb in, and I just hate that so much. So I'm going to take that lemon out, and I'm going to throw it behind my house in the compost pile. And then I'm going to find the most beautiful lemon. It's big, it's juicy, it doesn't have that many seeds in it. And I'm going to place it in the refrigerator that is my body. Right above my belly button and my solar plexus, which is where we keep our power. So now we've got healthy fruit at our root for stability. We've got healthy fruit in our sacral chakra for creativity. And now we have a healthy yellow fruit right in the center of ourselves where our power resides. Now, move on up to your heart space, the center of your chest, and think of something green. This is your heart chakra, associated with the color green. So whether it's a big head of broccoli, whether it's a cucumber, whether it's a big head of kale, whatever it is that's your favorite green fruit or vegetable, picture a rotting one in your heart center. It's got, the leaves are wilted and kind of brown, and it's just not going to be tasty no matter what you do with it. You can't cook it, you can't eat it raw, it's no good anymore. So take it out of your heart, out of the middle of your refrigerator, and throw it in the compost pile behind your house. And now find the most luscious, leafy green, healthiest bunch of whatever it is, vegetable or fruit that you're picturing for the color green, and place it right there in your heart. And think about how nourishing that is to have healthy, fresh, green leaves just sort of poised in there, just taking up space where your heart lives, where you operate from compassion and you are called to connect with people right there in your heart. Now, move on up to your throat chakra, which is associated with the color blue. And think of what might be blue, a blue fruit or vegetable. Of course, I'm thinking of blueberries. Shout out to our friend Blueberry. But these particular blueberries right now are kind of shriveled and wrinkled, like the one I found my cat playing with the other day. Like that is an old blueberry. We don't want to eat those blueberries. And we certainly don't want them hanging out in our throat chakra where we communicate from. We don't want to communicate from shriveled, no longer juicy, no longer offering really what they have, their essence. So we're going to remove those blueberries, throw them in the compost pile behind your house, and find a bowl or whatever it is you're using for blue. Although I can't think of what else would be besides blueberries. That's the only one I can think of. So find a handful of the most plump, deep blue. You know every single one of them is going to be sweet. No risking it with that one sour one. You know every single one is going to be sweet. And just place them right there in your throat chakra where you communicate from, so that you can communicate with clarity and intellect and truth and your own authentic voice coming from a very healthy throat chakra, now that we've put fresh blueberries there. And now move up to that space on your forehead between your two eyes where your third eye lives. And think of something purple. I've lately been thinking about like a fresh fig. The outside skin of a fresh fig is that deep purple. But the one that I have there now is kind of hard. It's not purple anymore. It's kind of just, it's too hard to even cut into. It's too hard to eat. Couldn't even make a Newton out of that fig. So I'm going to take it out and I'm going to throw it in the compost pile behind my house. And then I'm going to replace it with a freshly picked fig, like right off of a fig tree. Can you imagine? I'm going to place it right there in my third eye where my insight lives, where my intuition lives, where my deeper understanding of the world, the things that we don't see, but the things that we understand and know. Excuse me. The things that we understand and know and comprehend at levels that aren't necessarily easily understood by others. All of that lives in your third eye. And now you can put the most beautiful purple fruit or vegetable there so that yours is equipped with freshness and light and sweetness, depending on your what produce you've chosen. I want a sweet fig. So now we have cleared out the fridge. I feel like maybe there's one more spot in the freezer we could reach, top of our head, the crown chakra, where we connect with higher guidance, connect with our version of spiritual communication, spiritual belief. And there, all I can think of right now is cauliflower, because it's usually a white light that we think of when we think of the crown chakra. We think of like a white or an indigo, I guess. Indigo. So maybe it's one of those cauliflowers that's like a hybrid, like a purple cauliflower. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? I'd like to hear what you think. If you want to comment on this channel and let me know what you're thinking. What fruits and vegetables did you find in your refrigerator? So now we'll take out whatever it was that was white or indigo for you at the top, the crown of your head, the crown chakra. Throw that old one in the compost pile behind your house and find a replacement that is fresh and ready for cooking up or eating raw, or however it is the most nourishing or the most delicious for you, and place that right on the top of your head so that all of our energy centers now have been tended to. We've spent time renewing all these spaces in our bodies that help us to stay with having direction and having understanding of ourselves and the world around us. So let's just sit here for a couple more breaths. And when you feel like you're ready, you can open your eyes. Join me back here in my kitchen. I'm so glad you spent time with me today. I hope that you found this practice to be worthwhile. You can come back and do it anytime you want, or you can do it on your own. I find that it is helpful for me when I'm ready to step out, be visible, because I have two modes. It's like hiding in my house/cave, or like out on stage. So when it's time for me to go back out into the world, I find that this is a really helpful practice for me. So thanks again for joining me. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this out on social media, comment down below, and I will see you next time. Bye.